Greetings, one and all. Welcome back to another episode of Whatever Happened To, the series where we take a where are they now look at players who found success in the National Hockey League but are no longer permanent fixtures in the league, either due to controversy, poor play, or just rotten luck. In today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at a former 50-goal scorer, a Rocket Richard Trophy winner, and an NHL All-Star. As we ask, whatever happened to Jonathan Cheechoo? After being drafted 29th overall by the San Jose Sharks in the 1998 NHL entry draft, Jonathan Cheechoo spent another year of seasoning in the OHL with the Belleville Bulls, and then played 2 seasons in the AHL with the Kentucky Thoroughblades and the Cleveland Barons respectively, where he put up 112 points in 128 games. The 02-03 season saw Chechoo begin the year once again in the AHL with Cleveland, but after scoring 7 points in 9 games, he was recalled to the San Jose Sharks roster. 4 years after he was drafted, Jonathan Cheechoo was about to make his long-awaited NHL debut. Chechoo would score a modest 9 goals and 7 assists for 16 points in 66 games during his rookie season in the league, as the youngster from Moose Factory, Ontario, was learning how to become an effective player in the best league in the world. Chechoo's numbers unfortunately weren't good enough to help San Jose make the playoffs though, as the Sharks missed out on postseason action for the first time in 6 seasons. However, whilst Chechoo would take time to adjust to the NHL game, he would certainly be worth the wait. The 03-04 NHL season saw Chechoo stick with the Sharks from training camp, as the former first-round pick improved greatly on his previous season records, notching 28 goals and 19 assists for 47 points in 81 games, cementing himself as a legitimate goal scorer in the league. Chechoo also scored 10 points in 17 playoff games as the Sharks returned to the postseason, but they were eliminated in 6 games in the Western Conference Finals by the Calgary Flames. Whilst Chechoo had shown a solid yet steady increase in his point production, his numbers were about to explode through the roof. But first, there was a lockout. During the 04-05 NHL lockout, Chechoo, like many other players, took his talents overseas, signing with HV71 of the Swedish Elite League, where he scored 5 goals in 20 games. When the NHL resumed play for the 05-06 season, Chechoo wanted to prove that he could be a superstar in the league, and he did exactly that as he notched an astounding 56 goals and 37 assists for 93 points in 82 games, as well as 9 points in 11 playoff games, playing on a line with recently acquired superstar Joe Thornton. This goal-scoring explosion was good enough to win the Rocket Richard Trophy for most goals scored in a season, as Chechoo became the first player in Sharks franchise history to win the trophy. After toiling in the minors for years and gradually finding his feet in the league, Chechoo was finally up there with some of the greatest names to ever play, achieving the kind of success only a superstar player could. However, what goes up must come down. After his entry-level contract ended, and after putting up huge numbers last season, the Sharks signed Chechoo to a 5-year, $15 million contract extension, which saw him earn $2.5 million the first 2 years, $3 million the third year, and $3.5 million the last 2 years. Just like that, Chechoo had earned his first big payday in the league and became a millionaire overnight, whilst the Sharks could have orchestrated the biggest contract steal of the century if Chechoo put up similar numbers every year. With a bigger contract came more responsibility and expectation for Chechoo to produce the goods. Did Chechoo live up to these expectations long term? Well, no, not really. The 06-07 NHL season saw Chechoo's numbers drop noticeably, but they still remained impressive stats, as he scored 37 goals and 32 assists for 69 points in 76 games. Whilst these numbers were a dip on his previous season totals, they were good enough to earn Chechoo his one and only chance to play in the NHL All-Star game as one of the best players in the Western Conference that season. Chechoo was pretty forgettable during the 2007 All-Star game, notching only a single assist as the Western Conference took the win over the East. But at least he got 1 point, right? Anyway, later that season, Chechoo also scored 6 points in 11 playoff games, but the Sharks were eliminated in 6 games in the second round of the playoffs by the Detroit Red Wings. The 07-08 NHL season saw Chechoo's numbers practically cut in half from his past season numbers, as the forward only managed to score 23 goals and 14 assists for 37 points in 69 games. Chechoo also added 4 goals and 4 assists in 13 playoff games, but the Sharks were once again eliminated in the second round of the playoffs, this time by the Dallas Stars. Chechoo's fall from grace was coming hard and fast, but the worst was certainly yet to come. The 08-09 NHL season saw a continued decline of Chechoo's numbers, as he only notched 12 goals and 17 assists for 29 points in 66 games. He also added a goal and an assist in 6 playoff games, but the Sharks were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs by the Anaheim Ducks. Then, on September 12, 2009, after years of declining point production, Jonathan Cheechoo was traded, along with Milan Michalek and a second-round draft pick, to the Ottawa Senators, in exchange for Danny Heatley and a 5th-round pick. From that moment onwards, Chechoo left the California Sunbelt franchise, heading to the team in the Canadian capital across the northern border, in the hope of rejuvenating his career and once again becoming the Rocket Richard winner he had been all those years ago. However, the hockey gods had other plans. The 09-10 NHL season saw Chechoo suit up for the Senators for the first time, as the Canadian forward looked to bounce back from years of declining point production. Unfortunately, Chechoo wouldn't get his wish, as he scored only 5 goals and 9 assists for 14 points in 61 games. Chechoo played so badly that on February 12, 2010, he was placed on waivers after the Ottawa Senators had acquired Matt Cullen from the Carolina Hurricanes. Chechoo cleared waivers the next day and was reassigned to the Binghamton Senators, Ottawa's AHL affiliate team, where he scored a more respectable 8 goals and 6 assists for 14 points in 25 games. Chechoo was recalled by Ottawa for a single playoff game against the Pittsburgh Penguins, but his play wasn't good enough to keep him in the Canadian capital, as he was once again placed on waivers on June 28, 2010. As the season concluded, and with Chechoo reportedly owed $3.5 million for the upcoming 10-11 season, the Ottawa Senators decided to buy out the final year of Chechoo's contract, immediately making him a free agent. Little did Chechoo know that the 09-10 season was the last time he would play in the NHL for the rest of his career. The next 3 seasons saw Chechoo toiling away in the AHL, either on professional tryout contracts or two-way contracts, playing for the Worcester Sharks for the 10-11 season, the Peoria Rivermen for the 11-12 season, and the Oklahoma City Barons for the 12-13 season. Chechoo put up solid numbers in the minors, notching 56 goals and 79 assists for 135 points in 160 regular season games over those 3 seasons, but it wasn't enough to garner enough interest from any NHL team. Then, on July 10th, 2013, after years of trying to return to the NHL and failing, Chechoo decided to take his talents overseas, as he signed a 1-year contract with Medvesac Zagreb of the KHL. After being abandoned by the best league in the world, Chechoo was moving to the other side of the world to see how he could perform in the best hockey league in Europe. The 13-14 season saw Chechoo debut in the KHL with Zagreb and put up good numbers, as the Canadian forward scored 19 goals and 19 assists for 38 points in 54 games. Chechoo also added a pair of assists in 4 playoff games, but Zagreb were eliminated in the first round of the 2014 Gagarin Cup playoffs. Having left North American hockey for pastures new, it seemed like Chechoo was finding a new home abroad. After a strong debut season in the KHL, Chechoo signed a 2-year contract with Dynamo Minsk to remain in the KHL for the foreseeable future. Chechoo rewarded Minsk with a 24-goal, 24-assist, 48-point campaign in 49 games during the 14-15 KHL season. Chechoo also added an assist in 5 playoff games, but Minsk was eliminated in the first round of the 2015 Gagarin Cup playoffs. Seems like Chechoo instinctively forgot how to score every year come playoff time, but he had a great regular season, so let somebody else be clutch in the postseason. Chechoo can't do it all now, can he? Jonathan Cheechoo returned to Dynamo Minsk for the 15-16 KHL season. Whilst his point production decreased from the year prior, Chechoo still put up solid numbers, as he notched 16 goals and 22 assists for 38 points in 54 games. However, Minsk missed out on the playoffs, making it the first time since he joined the KHL that Chechoo had missed out on postseason action. It's probably a good thing though, because Chechoo still hadn't scored in 9 playoff games. After his contract with Minsk ended, Chechoo decided he wanted to stay in the KHL, but needed a change of scenery, so he signed a 1-year contract with Slovan Bratislava for the upcoming season. The 16-17 KHL season saw Chechoo score 14 goals and 26 assists for 40 points in 60 games with his new team. Whilst this campaign was good enough to get him invited to the 2017 KHL All-Star game, it wasn't enough to help Slovan make the playoffs. After the 16-17 season concluded, Chechoo seemingly disappeared off the hockey map. Based on my research, there is no record of him having signed a contract or having played for a team at any point during this season just past. However, the Chechoo mystery was solved on March 6, 2018, when the Canadian forward officially announced that he was retiring from playing professional hockey. After 18 years, Chechoo decided that it was time to hang up his skates and move on into the next chapter of his life. Even though his career probably didn't end the way anyone would have liked, there's no denying that Chechoo had a pretty good run. In 501 NHL games, Chechoo scored 170 goals and 135 assists for 305 points, as well as notching 73 goals and 91 assists for 164 points in 217 KHL games. I think it's fair to say that Chechoo experienced all the great highs and crushing lows that being a professional hockey player has to offer, and there's no doubt that his 56-goal season with the Sharks will be remembered in San Jose for many years to come. And there you go! That's what happened to Jonathan Cheechoo. What do you think about Chechoo's career? Was it good, bad, or do you wish he had remained in North America and had another 56-goal season? It probably wouldn't have happened, but maybe. Also, is there another player that you would like me to look at in this series? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.